Which one is better? The iPhone or this Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra thing that runs Android? So if you're currently using an iPhone and wondering to yourself, is Android better than the iPhone? Or thinking about switching to the Note 20 and wondering if it's going to be, well, an upgrade or maybe a downgrade, let us continue our important work. Hi, welcome, my name is Pete and I basically own every Apple product under the sun, have been using Apple products exclusively for, well, as long as I can remember. Now, if you want to watch more of those confused Apple fanboy videos, then stick around and subscribe, that'd be hugely appreciated. But in this video, we're going to cover off a few key points around what I like and dislike about switching to this phone, because, well, shock horror, some of it is actually okay, kind of. Hear me out. So first, let's talk about the good stuff, the stuff I love, and then we'll get on to the not so good stuff. And let's kick off by talking about the screen, because it is beautiful, it's vibrant, and runs at 120 Hz, which makes it an absolute dream to use. Maybe Apple will catch up with that with their iPhone 13? Maybe? I mean, it's not like Samsung released this in August of last year. Notifications, also, woo! For the first time I can remember, they actually semi-works on an Android phone. Now this time, the badge notifications did update properly when I had any new notifications, and they disappeared after I'd been into the app to read them. But the magic with Android is that you can really customize your notifications and specify what type of notifications per app that you want to see. Now I absolutely love this, and also there is some bad stuff when it comes to notifications, but more on that in a moment. But this time around I did use the stock launcher and I didn't go with anything else like the Nova launcher, which lets you like really customize things. More on that soon. For the iPhone users amongst us, and thanks to those of you who commented on my S21 video, you can add both the torch and camera buttons on the lock screen, just like you get on the iPhone, which gives you instant access to both camera and the torch. And if you're like me, fumbling around at night, that's probably one of the first things you want to set up. Now, something us iPhone users don't get is this incredible ability to zoom right in when taking photos. Now, how useful this actually is in real life, I'm not really sure, given how pixelated the images do turn out. But with the Note 20, you can zoom right into 50 times. And when you do, you get a really cool, like, handy little feature that helps you lock onto the object you're focusing on to help then counteract any movement from your hands. Personally, it's not something that I'd use, and with this camera, you'd be best going in at most like 5 times, because that is using one of the optical zoom lenses rather than using like digital zoom. So instead, take the shot at 5 times zoom and then just crop and edit that separately. Now, one to mention in this video, and I think I'm just getting to know the Android software now, but using 1Password on this phone works absolutely flawlessly. It works in the Chrome browser, like automatically picks up and fills in all sorts of fields, and basically just has 0 issues, which I am really grateful for after having to like re-sign into all of my apps when setting up, a brand new phone. Previously, I had all sorts of problems with all different types of like, password managers on different browsers, and literally every phone I tested so far, they wouldn't work in Chrome, and only then they would work like half of the time. And I think this is maybe actually the first Android phone I've reviewed where password managers actually work really well. So yeah, high five to 1Password for that. And if you are currently storing your passwords in Safari or Apple Keychain and you need to switch from Apple to Android, then you can find some discounts of up to 50% off a 1Password subscription below this video underneath that like button, and that will make the transition so much easier for you. And also take a look, even if you are using the Chrome password manager, because you shouldn't be storing your passwords in Chrome either. You go and watch this video to find out why. Now, one more feature that I surprisingly actually love about this phone, and I never thought I'd actually ever use it, but the reverse wireless charging, or as Samsung call it, wireless power share, which, when enabled, means you can charge other devices on the back of your phone. Now, if you're anything like me and have like a significant other who never charges their phone overnight, no matter how many times you remind them, and then when you're at a restaurant, they run out of battery, well, it's really cool that you can actually charge their phone. I think after our meal, my wife's battery was up to like 25% again, so that's pretty cool. A quick pit stop at the pen now, because the Note 20 Ultra does come with this pen that slots into the back of it, and you can do some fun things with it, including like waving it around like Harry Potter, and you can also do some more useful things, like when taking photos, you can use the button on the pen to trigger like the shutter button, so when snapping like family photos or selfies when you're not holding the phone out in front of you. So yeah, that's kind of cool. Now, one thing to mention about the Note 20 Ultra is that you also get something called MST support for Samsung Pay, which basically means that you can use your Note 20 Ultra on any contactless payment point anywhere, even those that don't officially work with the likes of like Apple Pay or Android Pay, because it basically replicates what an actual contactless card does. Personally, it's not a huge issue with me here in the UK, and what with the pandemic, pretty much everywhere now takes either Apple or Android kind of phones, but I understand it can be a bigger issue elsewhere in the world, so that might be good for you. Now the battery also falls into the good stuff category. Considering I had this running at 120 Hertz, I'm quite surprised that I did get a good day's worth of battery life out of this thing. Only once or twice did I actually need to charge it midday, which isn't really any different to my 11 Pro Max, so yeah, good stuff there. And then last in the good stuff is that, well, it would be silly to talk about Android and not talk about customizations, because this is a luxury that us iPhone users don't really have. I mean, we can customize our phones as much as we like, as long as we're within this sort of Apple walled garden, which is good and bad. But with Android, you can basically do anything. Any complaint that I have can probably be fixed by software of some form. Now, I am still loving Nova Launch, which lets you do actions like swiping up on one app to launch a different app. And there are also apps like Good Lock, which those of you commented down below in my last videos have told me about. So cool, thank you very much. You get a little bit more control over your home screen, your menus, navigation and notifications, and a few other areas. But basically with Android, if you can think of it, someone's probably already made an app that can do it for you. So that's pretty cool. Oh, actually, one more thing to add on. Lift to wake. It is so nice to just lift up the phone and for the phone to unlock and go straight to the home screen without having to swipe up like you do on an iPhone. So yeah, that's worth a mention. Good stuff done with. Now on to the bad stuff. Android people, please be gentle with me. I'm a newbie at this, so if I've made any mistakes, then comment down below and I will correct myself for my next video. So make sure you subscribe for my apology videos. So let's talk about the size and the shape now, because this is a big phone, not quite as big as the previous generations of the Note, which were more like phablet than phone. But I found that when comparing this to the S21 Ultra, the Note is just more awkward to hold. Its overall size means that it makes it difficult to reach some parts of the phone. For example, if you held the phone in your left hand and you need to tap the enter key on the keyboard, which is on the right with your left thumb, it is near on impossible to do that without either dropping the phone or your palm just mashing the keyboard. Also related to the screen somewhat, but the fingerprint reader on here I found to be a little bit clunky. It's quite slow at times, and particularly on sunny days I found the auto brightness adjustment that just weren't that great, and I was struggling to actually see the screen in the sun, which of course can be hugely frustrating when you're trying to see the outline of the fingerprint so you can then unlock your phone. Though I do as I said before, have face unlock, which does work very, very well and helps out on those kind of occasions. Now, notifications. Huh? Yeah, they're great and everything, and I know I'm going to get slated and see comments down below about you idiots, you don't like notifications on Android? This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. But I have had some form of notification issue on literally every Android phone that I've used so far. Now, I must be doing something wrong, but every time I've showed somebody, they've kind of gone, yeah, that might not work, but look at this instead, and kind of completely avoided the question. Now, this time it is particularly when I'm using the phone. My phone makes a noise, yet I have no idea what's just happened. No clue which app it came from, unless I go to the lock screen or pull down to see the notifications, and then I know what's happened. Whereas on the iPhone, I get a nice bubble at the top of the screen, and I can reply to messages right there without leaving an app, and I can then tap the notification to go straight into said app. Now, I have checked and I have all of the right options enabled as far as I can tell, but still nothing. Just a noise, and then it's up to me to go and investigate what's just come in. It's really, really frustrating. I think if you ask me what my favorite Android handset so far was, if I was switching away from Apple, I'd probably say to go to the OnePlus 9 Pro and not this Note 20. And you can check out links to buy both of these phones down below, and you can also watch my experience of trying to switch from the iPhone to the OnePlus 9 Pro right here. Otherwise, check out this video and I'll see you in one of those two videos. Bye.